You got it. Stake out. I start getting farther and farther up in this, man. It's going to start getting more fresh. Be nice to be able to get a bass and a snook, some snapper. Probably getting real fresh up in here. That sounded weird, didn't it? Real fresh. I was hoping this was going to go a little, I mean, it goes farther, but it might start getting too tight. Look at that snook. Yeah, man. Look at that. He's gonna come off. Little guy's got some marks on him. Adios, buddy. Either we're gonna loop back around that way behind me because it turns into basically a giant donut, or I go to I guess the north side of where the river forks up there, which I think I might do that, but it's gonna be a little bit more windier, but I feel like I don't really have a lot of options at this point. Oh, look at that, I got a bass. Who knew? That's what I'm talking about. Told you. Once these fish get back up in here and they get adjusted to the pH levels and all that, I thought it was a trout, but ow! I ain't trying to go up there. No, it's little guy, little. But once the fish get back into brackish water and they can figure out where they need to be in that salinity level to the freshwater level and kind of bounce back and forth, like that bass isn't going to end up in the river. I mean, he could go out there for a little bit, but he's not going to stay there because he'll end up dying. So he'll just come back and forth, back and forth. I've actually caught bass on live mullet, which kind of makes complete sense because when you think about it, it's almost like fishing with a shiner. But it's just weird because you have that saltwater mentality, you know, when you're catching freshwater fish. 3 o'clock and I think I have 3 fish, a bass, a snook, and a jack. I don't think I've ever caught those 3 species of fish ever. I'm actually 100% sure I haven't. In one day. That's a jack. Nope. It's a nice little snapper. Spray it all over my camera. Damn, there's another one. Golly. That's a nice snook too. They're all over the place. Oh man, there's a whole bunch of reds right here. Right here. There's 1, 2, I don't know. They don't even see me yet. It's probably like 7 or 8 of them. Okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to think of maybe a different bait. There's one right here. He's right in front of me. He's looking right at me. And there he's swimming off, sort of. There he goes. Another one. That was a snook. Did you hear that? I haven't the slightest idea where it happened. But that was somewhere down there. See, the thing is, I don't see any rings coming off. You know, if he was right up on the shore or... But it was that loud. I know that snook's up in here somewhere. He was shallow, man. Like, there's hardly any water right back here. And you'd be surprised how shallow these fish will get. I mean, it's maybe 6 inches. There he is. That's him. That's him. Either he just took off. Damn, that's him, bro. He got it. Stake out. I think he's hooked on his back. Oh man, right under. Oh, it's on the gill plate. Oh crap. Oh crap. Oh gosh. There we go. I found you. Oh my goodness. Look what he's got in his mouth. Look at this. That's a nice snook. That's the guy that was terrorizing back there. Heck yeah. I heard you, man. I thought maybe you left. Go on, girl. Thought maybe you left. That was sweet. Just to give me an idea of how shallow that fish was, all right, paddle's pretty dry, kinda, but you'll get an idea of what's that, like 1.5 feet? And it might be a little bit shallow there, so we'll just say 1 foot. Like, I've watched snook and what their habits a lot. I mean, everyone knows this. Love structure. They love hanging out in the shade. They love getting tucked up in tight little areas. They love to ambush. That's basically what that fish was doing. He was just going up the shoreline in the shade and just popping stuff as he went. I mean, mind you, I did catch a school out there just hanging out, but they were in the shade, you know? They're just kind of spread out in little spots, but majority of them were in the shade. And that's usually where I catch most of my snook, is around stuff like this, structure, shade. Every once in a while, I'll get them floating around, you know, in open water. Not very often, but I do. So then I think what I'm gonna do after I finish doing this little drift is I'm gonna go back up and then go around here, because I kind of have the sun sort of at my back. What's up, kiddos? I don't know where you guys are going, but that's kind of annoying. This guy just buzzed this whole spot. Like, really? You got it? I was gonna go fish that whole entire area. What was the point of what you're doing? Just to go through it and just go through the whole shoreline and then... That guy just do that just to despise me? I don't know. I mean, obviously he has no idea where I was going to go fish, but golly, man. That sucks nuts. So my audio got a little messed up on this video and I gotta do a little dubbing. Anywho, so if you notice off in the distance, there's a bunch of dead trees that are laydowns, and I noticed there's a big blow up, so I paddle up there as quick as I can, and I cast around with the Usuri 3DS Minnow for about a couple minutes, trying to go every direction that I can, in front of me, to the right, to the left, shoreline. But the blow up was pretty much right where you see those laydowns off, a little bit to the right where those, the dead sticks are, dead branches. That's where I saw the blow up, just a little bit in front of that. And with the water being murkier, I thought, you know what, I don't really think I'm not covering the amount of water that I want to cover. So I ended up using a mirror lure top dog, which I got off a dock earlier in the footage that you saw in this video. Even though I didn't show it, that's how I ended up getting this red. It just made sense to throw it because the water's dirtier. I can cast it a mile because the wind's going in my face, and it just makes way more noise. And I think that's what basically was able for me to get that fish. Ended up being a really, really nice fish. I think, I'm gonna guess maybe 20 to 25 inches, somewhere in that range, but put up a good fight, healthy. I don't keep the fish out of the water long at all. Got her back in the water, swam off like a champ, and ended up being a really, really nice catch off a lure that I found.